National Audit Office. We would like to welcome you all to this launching event of the National Audit Office audit report of the Gambia government's COVID-19 response, the phase 1 of the audit report. Before we go into the proceedings, I will kindly request for us to take 1 minute, as it is customary, to pray in our individual ways for God's guidance of our gathering. So 1 minute of individual prayers, please. Okay, Amen, and may God answer to all prayers. Once again, a warm welcome to you all to Mercy Residence Hotel. As I stated, the National Audit Office is today launching its audit report of the Gambia government's COVID-19 response phase 1. I would like to first of all introduce the NAO team. We have with us Mr. 𝐶𝐿 who is the National Audit Office Auditor General. Mr. Toure, maybe for those who do not know you, maybe by raise of hands. Okay, so that's Mr. Toure. And then we have Mr. 𝐶𝐿, who is the Deputy Auditor General 1. Mr. Ndao. Okay, and then we also have Mr. Baba F. Drame, who is the Deputy Auditor General 2. Mr. Drame. We also have on the high table Mr. Almame Mankajang, who is one of the audit directors. I would also like to acknowledge other audit directors that we have in our midst by the name 𝐶𝐚𝐿 Diallo, Mr. Diallo, for the purpose of the audience knowledge, and also Mr. Ibrahim Drame. We also have Mr. Bakari Tarawale. So, and on top of these, we also have the members of the audit team who carried out the audit of this report that we are launching here. We would like to welcome them, as well as the National Audit Communications Working Group. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to specifically thank all representatives that we have here from civil society, media, and academia. We would like to thank you for honoring our invitation to join us at this launching event. Ladies and gentlemen, our objective of this launching event is part of National Audit Office strategic priorities in its strategic development plan 2020-2024. And this is to ensure we have increased engagements that would help stakeholders to better understand our reports, but specifically for the civil society, media, and academia, we hope that such interactions will help to strengthen our relationship and collaboration. As part of the program agenda, we will have an opening remarks by Auditor General Karamba Toure. We'll also have a presentation on the report by Deputy Auditor General 1, Mr. 𝐶𝐿, and after which we will want to have an interaction with the participants, being it in the form of comments to the report or questions that you might have for the National Assembly management to interact with you. We would also want to present you an overview of the NAO's initiatives to simplify its audit reports, aimed to ease the use of the reports by engagement by stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, we would also want to administer the feedback form that we'll be sharing with you, some of your suggestions and feedback to help us improve on our service delivery. We will also have a closing remark by the NAO Deputy Auditor General 2, and also further interactions. Ladies and gentlemen, since we have a late start, I wouldn't want to take much time. I would now call on the Auditor General, Mr. Karamba Toure, to give his remarks. Mr. Toure.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, our partners from civil society, media, and academia. managerial staff of the National Audit Office. All protocols duly and respectfully observed. On behalf of my team at the National Audit Office, we thank you all for being here with us as we officially launch the audit report of the Gambia Government COVID-19 Response Phase 1, which focuses on the procurement and distribution of food and medical items, are a critical part of the national accountability architecture, and given their role and mandate to watch over government accounts, operations and performance, they should be natural partners of citizens in exercising public scrutiny. The scope of Supreme Audit Institution's work is to increase transparency for the benefit of citizens through external auditing. The effectiveness of Supreme Audit Institution's operations can be greatly enhanced through sustained interaction with the various stakeholders, which include the executive, legislature, media, civil society organizations, accountability functions of the legislature, as well as the executive arm of government, in making use of audit findings and in enacting change. Enhanced Supreme Audit interaction with stakeholders and engagement can lead to greater audit impact and enable the Supreme Audit Institution in delivering envisaged value and benefits. For 2020-2024, we have identified stakeholder engagement as a strategic imperative. Ladies and gentlemen, when COVID-19 was declared a pandemic in the Gambia in March 2020, accordingly, as the Gambia recorded its first case in March of 2020, Gambia government reallocated some funds to use as support mechanisms to businesses and citizens at large to mitigate the difficult situations brought about by the emergence of the pandemic. As you may all be aware, the National Audit Office is an institution of the Gambia, and it is mandated by the Constitution to track and report through an audit process government spending of public resources, even in emergency situations. Thus, following the government's use of public resources to respond to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, this is how we arrived at the scope for the COVID-19 Phase 1 special audit. After successful completion of the audit exercise, we are glad to report that the audit report was submitted and discussed in the National Assembly and subsequently shared on the NAO website for public. We are happy to note that since its publication, some members of civil society and media here present shared on different platforms some of the findings from the report. As we proceed with activities for this launching, we will later see a deeper audit of all government to account in the use of public resources and recommend ways to strengthen government response to this emergency situation as well as future emergencies. As I shared earlier in my remarks, the report we are launching today is specific to the procurement and distribution of food to frontline workers. These are health and security personnel, support to media houses, support to overseas students, cash payments to registered tourist businesses and workers, flow of funds audit, and payment to quarantine centers. We anticipate sending this Phase 2 report to the National Assembly and publish on the NAO website very soon. Once public, we hope there will be increased access to the report as well as further discussions by all concerned stakeholders. The National Audit Office will be happy to join and participate in the activities organized by stakeholders around the report. Example, taking part in radio programs, interviews, and as a result, my office is working to produce mostly simplified reports, most simplified versions of the audit reports, which basically will be in simple language and summarized content, including graphics. This initiative is geared towards ensuring there is more citizen-friendly audit products which citizens can read and understand easily. To the simplified audit products, we have also started to design one-pager infographics of some of these reports, which we share on our social media handles, Twitter and LinkedIn, as well as on the NAO website. For those of you following us on social media, on our websites, which are regularly published. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, I would like to reinforce that we appreciate the collaboration with civil society, media, and academia in their efforts to further share contents of the National Audit Office reports. On our part, we will continue to explore ways to make our reports much more understandable and hope that efforts will impact very much on the transparency and accountability of public funds. We also hope that much impact will be gained, and those charged with the management of our public resources will ensure due process on the implementation of the audit recommendations by auditees. Thank you all for your continuous participation in the areas of national interest, and to our civil society, media, and academia partners. Those are always open to you to come to us with your feedback on our audit reports, including the simplified audit products, as well as our work in general in the country. We hope to see more engagement from you on the audit reports, and feel free to reach out to us if you need clarification on anything. We will continue to engage with you as well as organize more forums of this kind to help stakeholders better understand our for greater collaboration and pushing for accountability and transparency within the public institutions. Thank you all, and we look forward to more such engagement with all our key stakeholders.
Thank you very much, AG Karambature. I think key points that I picked up from the remarks includes the important role of the National Audit Office, as well as the important role that civil society, media, and academia plays to ensure there's a very crucial role in all aspects of governance. And for that, we would also want to thank and encourage the media houses for their continuous collaboration and coverage, especially GRTS and QTV for covering this launching event, but also the print media, online media platforms, and radio stations. Ladies and gentlemen, in Mr. Toure's remarks also, he made mention of efforts being done by the office to simplify the audit reports. We all know some people will say, audit reports are so bulky. You have seen that we have started to simplify most of the audit reports and sharing with the public. We are hoping that they have been useful to you. Like Mr. Toure said, we would definitely want to be hearing from you in terms of what you think we will need to improve on those simplified audit reports. Before I call on Deputy Auditor General 1 to give a presentation on the content of the audit report, maybe to just track, if we can, by show of hands, how many of us here, excluding the NAO staff, that are currently following the NAO social media platforms. We go on the social media handles to follow the National Audit Office, but also to access the website. We have the website, and it has all these reports, be it the COVID-19 report, as well as the Government of the Gambia financial statement audit reports, as well as other reports being performance audit and other special audit reports. So we really would want to encourage you to access these platforms, a host of reports that can help you in your advocacy, as well as